NBA free agency won't begin in full force until after the draft, but the rumor mill is picking up. Who's opting in? Who's opting out? Who's signing where? You know, it's the offseason, but it's a fun time of year in the NBA. So in today's video, I'm giving you my free agency predictions for 5 NBA veterans who are flying under the radar, but can still contribute to a winning team. Who are they, and where should they sign? How's it going, guys? Troy back again with another video about free agency, and yeah, I know I'm bombarding you guys with these free agent videos, but they are so popular. You guys seem to love them, and they're really fun to do. Appreciate all your support with these. So I'm calling today's video Sneaky Good Veterans. And all the guys in this video are veterans who can still help a team, even though they're flying a little bit under the radar. So I'm telling you guys where these players need to sign as free agents. All the other free agent videos that I've done in this series will be linked down in the description. And if there's anybody I haven't talked about yet, let me know in the comments and I can put them in a future video. Also, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Literally only takes a second, really helps in growing the channel on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So click that button, please, and thank you. First guy I'm going to talk about is Rajon Rondo, and Rondo really redeemed himself this past season. Proved the haters wrong, proved that he is still one of the best playoff performers in the league. Playoff Rondo, anybody. So he just won his championship with the Lakers early in his career, won his championship with the Celtics, only the second player in NBA history to win a title with both teams. If I tell you who the other guy is, you're not going to even have any idea who he is, so we won't even mention him. But Rondo is far from the defender and top-tier playmaker that he used to be, but he did prove that he's that savvy veteran that championship teams will be looking for this offseason. I don't think the Lakers have the money to bring him back at the salary that he wants. So let's give you 3 teams where I think he could possibly fit. First team that he should consider is the Golden State Warriors. And if anybody knows how to make the most of his veterans, that is definitely going to be Warriors coach Steve Kerr. They also don't have a reliable backup at the point guard spot, so I think Rondo could slide into that role, kind of similar to what Sean Livingston gave them during their championship years. I also like the Brooklyn Nets as an option for Rondo. They'll be competing for a championship next year and are going to be after championship caliber players for that roster. I think he could provide them some perimeter defense next to Kyrie, provide some nice playmaking, lots of scorers on that team that he can pass to. And finally, how about the Phoenix Suns? I think that Rondo would be a vet that would not only help get the young guys the ball in the right spots, but he would help in getting them back to the playoffs for the first time, really in forever. Next guy I want to talk about is Wesley Matthews of the Milwaukee Bucks, Milwaukee, Algonquin for the good land. Matthews is the quintessential 3-and-D player, and that defensive prowess, along with his sharp three-point shooting, makes him a desirable target for a whole bunch of teams. So he fits a team's win-now timeline and proved this past season with the Bucks that he could provide a significant contribution to a franchise that is gunning for a championship. Matthews can serve as an excellent floor spacer, even though he is streaky on occasion, but he does have that let-it-fly mentality. So I think he really enjoys playing with Milwaukee. Remember, he went to college at Marquette, which is in Milwaukee, but that doesn't quite guarantee a return for next season. I think he's still after that final payday in his career. So he has that player option that I think he's going to turn down. If he and the Bucks can't work out a deal, I like him on the Raptors. I think he could even start for Toronto if they don't re-sign Fred VanVleet. And also, let me put Matthews on the Pacers as well. Lots of things up in the air in terms of their two-guard depth and rotation, with Victor Oladipo potentially getting traded, Jeremy Lamb missing much of next season with his injuries. So I think Matthews is a solid vet for them and really fits that Pacers team culture as well. The next guy I want to talk about is Reggie Jackson of the LA Clippers. Remember, he started the year with Detroit before getting bought out by them, and then he signed with the Clippers to be their backup point guard for the end of the season and into the playoffs. He was actually pretty good for them during the regular season. 17 games, about 41% from three, chipped in about 9.5 points, over 3 assists, but he did fall out of the rotation in the second round of the playoffs versus the Nuggets. So I don't see the Clippers looking to bring him back. So I'd like to count them out for this as one of the teams he could go back to. But I think he could fit on the Timberwolves because you have D'Angelo Russell at the point, but Reggie Jackson could be a nice veteran backup. They could even play together at times. Then I think the Celtics make some sense at the backup spot too. They really only had Carson Edwards and Brad Wanamaker last year, and Reggie Jackson is a guy who I would trust a lot more in that backup role than either of those guys. And then finally, what about a reunion with Doc Rivers in Philly? I think the Sixers could use Reggie Jackson's shooting. He can be a backup to Ben Simmons at the point. He could play a little off guard and let Simmons run the point. I know that they have Raul Neto, who's going to be a free agent, so maybe all the Neto fans out there tell me, is Reggie better than Raul Neto? And yeah, I do like to say Raul Neto. It's a fun name to say. Next up is Anthony Tolliver of the Memphis Grizzlies. You can't be much more of a journeyman than Tolliver. Look up journeyman in the dictionary. That's going to be Anthony Tolliver's face, smiling right back at you. He has literally played for a third of the NBA over his 11-year run in the league. He's never started more than 29 games in a season. He's only averaged more than 20 minutes in a season twice, but he is one of the best veterans in the NBA. Remember this, though, even the 10th man on an NBA roster is better than me. He's better than you. Tolliver is guaranteed to give you a couple threes a game. He can make good decisions while on the floor. He can hustle, and he can be drama-free in the locker room. In short, he is the ultimate glue guy for a contender or the ultimate mentor for a young team. He's probably going to sign a minimum deal and be so worth it for what he's able to bring to a team. I've said before on this channel, the Grizz are my team, and I was really impressed with Tolliver when the team signed him toward the end of this past season. He parlayed 2 10-day contracts into a deal for the rest of the year. The coaches loved him. The teammates loved him. I see Spurs written all over this guy if he doesn't re-sign him with the Grizzlies. Smart veteran who would immediately be a player for Greg Popovich. Stretches the floor, hits the three, sets good screens, everything you want in a vet. Same goes for the Utah Jazz as well. This is a guy who's going to come in and play his role and not complain. Easily became one of my favorite veterans in the NBA last year. Okay, I think I've officially talked more about Anthony Tolliver than NBA YouTuber ever has. Let's move on to our final player. And that's going to be Kelly Olynyk of the Miami Heat. So depending when I air this video, Olynyk may have already picked up his player option. Frankly, he would be crazy not to because he is set to make more than $13 million next year, and he's not going to get that type of contract anywhere else next season, potentially maybe not for the rest of his career. Olynyk is pretty solid. He's a 6'11 guy who can hit threes at a pretty good clip, rebounds a little bit, has a nice feel for the game. But yeah, he's a role player who really isn't going to play more than about 20-25 minutes a game. I think it's likely he goes back to Miami, but if for some reason he wants more playing time than the Heat could offer, let's also put him on the Rockets as a possibility. He would be a big guy who can stretch the floor for them, hit that three. I think I could also see him having a career year for the Thunder. Maybe he could become their new Danilo Gallinari. Hey, wishful thinking, but trying to be positive with Kelly Olynyk. Guys, that's what I think, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Only takes a second, and it really helps in growing the channel. Hey, thanks so much for watching, everybody. This is Troy with the Half Court Report, and I'll see you next time.